everyone, 'tis none other than Tygethor. Great to see you all again, as always, and, what? I didn't have a baseball cap! This isn't my traditional sport, okay? Hold on. I got you guys, though. This doesn't really fit the aesthetic here. How about Team Wario? Close enough. But either way, whenever one of my childhood games gets randomly dropped into my lap out of nowhere, for a very cheap $10, I might add, we've just got to give it a go. I'm of course talking about Backyard Baseball 97. And I know that might terrify some of you. You know how sports games tend to go on this channel. You know. Okay, I'm fine. Go Black Knights, go. But once again, back to baseball here. I'm going to be doing a playthrough of a league season here, and I didn't want to just go straight ahead and do the most broken, overpowered team. I didn't want to do one of those challenges either that was like, hey, let's see how we can do with the worst players in the game. I wanted to find a healthy mix. I think I know just the way to do it. First of all, we are not sponsored, but our team will be called the Green Giants. Ho ho ho. And in order to properly fit the Giants rule, I have set a boundary in place. This, dear friendos, is the height chart for backyard basketball. Well, yes, it did come out a few years later. It's one of the only resources we have in regards to height of a character. So this is what we're going to be using. Rule number 1 of being on the Green Giants, you have to be at least reasonably tall. So unfortunately, this entire bottom row is excluded. And yes, that means no Pablo Sanchez, no Luann Louie, no Kenya Kawaguchi because of the chair, no Maria Luna, although we weren't going to be pink anyway. And of course, no GOAT Reese Worthington. But it's a sacrifice I am willing to make. So what we're going to do is we are going to have 6 players from the tippy top row, 2 players pulled from the middle, and other than a couple of restrictions I'm going to make, we are going to do our last one up to the Wheel of Consequences. This is the Wheel of Consequences. It's not labeled yet. I guess you could say I set this up without consequence.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Okay, I'm gonna stop. But the last pick will be left up to this. But to move on to what's going to actually be going down, let me take you to the game cam real quick for the rest of the picks. I'll see you back here for the last one. Stay with us. Alright, we got our name in. Tygethor. You know, I've had people on Twitch mispronounce my thing as like Tygethor. They take the G as a J. And it just starts up the whole GIF argument again, and you just want to strangle someone. But it's fine. It's fine. As I said, Green Giants. Going to be green. As funny as like a little Giants would be. Alright, so pick number 1. These are not going to be in order of preference, by the way. These are just narrowing down the exceptions. Pick number 1, I'm going to get this out of the way right now. I would be remiss if I did not take my birthday twin. None other than Billie Jean Blackwood.
Just say "we" to me, you hear, sugar?
one of the better contact hitters in the game, and the ideal first baseman. Everything else in her game, well, hit or miss.
Thanks, sugar. I won't let y'all down.
Second point I'm going to make, since I have chosen Billie Jean, that will exclude Marky DuBois from being on the team.
If you pick me, I'll wall of that lower ball over that lower fence.
Because he will get buffed, but she will not. She will actually get worse. And frankly, she's got a hard enough road as it is.
Darn, I want to play.
So that already excludes one from the tall row and one from the middle row. Next up, I will not be imbibing in either of the Weber twins. While decent, I just feel like those two slots are better used elsewhere. It's not really great for content to have identical twins. Hence why I've never had a twin. That I know of. Moving on. Either way, pick number 2. And this really goes without saying. One of the few, undisputed players still available. And you can't not take the guy. Of course, I'm talking about Pete Wheeler.
I can run real good.
Good bunter, good runner, good fielder. Not a spectacular speller, but thankfully we're not doing that. This isn't Backyard B or whatever. You can just plug him in wherever and he'll be just fine. Now, pick number 3. Once again, we're not really going in order of preference here. We're just getting the immediate gotta get it, need to have him's out of the way. Is Keisha Phillips.
You'd be crazy not to pick me for your team.
Good bat, deceptive speed. Can have a couple of flubs in the outfield, but will generally put up more runs than she gives up. You'd be crazy not to have her.
I knew you were smart. A real thinker.
Alright. Pick number 4 is going to be... I'm going to take my first of 2 from the middle row. And of course, I'm talking about the guy I always love playing in these games, though this certainly is not his best one. Dmitry
I would be
Petrovich.
honored to play on your team.
Strong bat, good runner. Fielding has a little bit to be desired, but on-field stamina may just be one of the worst. So, get use from him early, pray for dingers later.
Excellent. I will start drawing out a basic strategy based on the current temperature, the wind condition, and the coefficient of refraction for the playing surface.
So we have 5 more picks, 1 from the medium, 4 from the top. Now I know there's going to be people in the Gretchen camp, in the Mikey Thomas camp. He's really good. Ahmed Khan, what more is there to say? Although I will say Ahmed has let me down in the outfield a couple of times. It's really not his strong suit. So for that reason, we are looking at our next selection, who has no trouble in the field or on the mound, Mr. Ernie Steele.
Not picking me would be very unsmart. Get it?
Also can be a half-decent pitcher, which, for the moment, we do not have. Batting, you can make a couple of line drives happen with him, but...
Woohoo! Let's play!
Once again, we're talking a net positive here. Pick number 6. Is gonna be Jocinda Smith. You could go a Stephanie Morgan, potentially, but Jocinda already is in the top tier category. and is
Hi,
the
pick me for
queen
your
of contact. She will most likely be my shortstop.
Hey, all right.
Pick number 7. I'm going to Tuffle. Baby, are you out there? I'm going to tussle a few feathers with this one. But my other pitcher, in case Ernie Steele doesn't really do much, is going to be Lisa Crockett.
Pick me, please.
Haven't had much success batting-wise with her. She's a monster in football. But that 3 pitching and the hook she can throw, no question.
Okay, I'll play.
You can see we're already, like I said, ruffling some feathers here. Alright, so we're going to get our second pick of the, I guess, the mid-size doesn't really make too much sense. Look at the people we have left. We have guys like Ricky Johnson, Jorge Garcia, in the top tier. Statistically, we are going to take one of the two.
You can pick me if you want.
But the question is, they're both about similar, I want to say. I've got the advanced stat sheet with me, so give me just a second. Content creation takes time. Last I heard. Alright, we got Ricky Johnson. Alright, 78 stamina. 70 intelligence. 71 speed, not terrible, Ricky. Arm strength, not great. Aim, not great either. Fielding ain't his thing, Chief. 25 hit power, 27 contact. Batting also ain't his thing. And I'm not even going to contemplate his pitching numbers. Somehow has a great left hook. But other than that, blah. Jorge, could you be any worse? 2s across the board. Let's see here. .69 stamina. I would say nice if this wasn't a frickin' child.
Okay.
Hold up.
I'm not going to beg you to pick me for your little team.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a child. 56. He's slower than Ricky. But fielding-wise, 64 arm strength. That's Dante. 79 arm strength, 50 aim. 31 power, 58 contact. Jorge Garcia is a better batter than Ricky Johnson. Let that sink in. I am floored right now. I'm going to have to take bonkers for my team.
I suppose I'll play, but I don't want to get dirty, okay?
Alright, so pick 9. We will leave to the wheel. Give us just a second. Alright, hello and welcome back. The last spot on our wheel will be decided by the Wheel of Consequence. As you can see here, we've got the names of the 8. There's only 7 spokes on the wheel, but Angela and Mikey will share a spot, and if we end up on there, we'll do a coin flip between those two. Seems fair enough. I didn't game plan for this, so bleh. The first one to get to 2 spins shall be the player we draft. Okay? Just so everybody sees, Sally Dobbs, Tony Del Vecchio, Annie Fraser, Ahmed Khan, Stephanie Morgan, Gretchen Hasselhoff, Angela Del Vecchio are mine. Alright? Everybody ready? Time to spin the Wheel of Misfortune. One for Steph. Okay. That one looks like it's veering in the middle, so we won't count it. One for Tony Del Vecchio. So 1 for Tony, 1 for Sally. Or Steffi. Once again, it looks like it's in the middle. Let me, There we are. And there's 2. Tony Del Vecchio will be the draftee. Just one more time for the heck of it. I like spinning this thing. Annie Fraser. That done. Oh well, see you next time. This took me a while to put together, by the way. It was a real pain in the hindquarters. Either way. Now that that's done, back to the game cam. So you saw it just now with a very quickly 2. We got Tony Del Vecchio as our last surprise player.
You hear me? The best.
Honestly, I'm not upset. Solid bat. One of the strongest arms, so he's definitely an outfielder. And you can make do with his other 2 statisticals.
Listen here, Slick. You made the right decision.
And not to mention, we may have some connections in the back, if you know what I mean. Now we wait for the game to queue up our roster. Alrighty. Let's get our lineup set before we do our first game actually live up when the video comes out. Alrighty. Pitcher, gotta change. Billie Jean Blackwood, first base. Who should start? Ernie or Lisa? I feel like Ernie is more useful. I mean, he can be good with the mound, but he's also a ripe choice for the field. So that leaves Lisa to be our starting pitcher. Keisha in the right, I can live with. Tony for the left field so he can send rockets out to first. Do I like Dimitri at third base? I'm not sure. His arm's kind of mediocre. You know, let's have him at second. And switch Keisha to third, Pete to the right field. I like that. I like that a lot. Batting order most definitely is going to change. Because we've got a mix of power hitters, contact dingers, and then there's Jorge. So we're going to have Pete be our leadoff, because if he can't get on first, well, the whole inning's toasted. Followed by someone to advance him. Who do I trust to advance a runner? Give me Jocinda at 2. I'll take Keisha there. Fourth, I would be the ideally person to drive folks in, so give me Tony fourth at bat, which really feels like we're loading up early and suffering late. Followed by Dimitri. Ernie. I like someone being between Lisa and Jorge, just in case. But let's put Billie Jean before Dimitri. And that way we have Lisa, Ernie, and then Jorge. Okay. This can work. So we are the Green Giants. And we will, next time you see us, be taking on the Hornets. I'm assuming the Humongous Hornets, because that's always the way they like to. And we've already got all the records. To heck with you, other teams. Haven't decided, by the way, if I'm going to do normal or hard. It's been a while, and I don't know how the difficulty is going to scale. Probably hard, but you guys let me know. Also, 6 or 9 innings. Though, granted, my luck will probably go into extra innings regardless, so maybe we'll leave them at 6. Either way, next time you see us, it will be during baseball hours. So as always, my name is Tygethor, and see you very, very soon.